It's all about the headlines, right? And the more negative you get, then you see the more reaction the market has, right? This morning, we had a really kind of positive headline in terms of the trade talk, and the market took off, right? It was just begging for something positive. But the minute they pull out a negative headline, and that story today with Trump in the Oval Office and the Democrats and the fight that we saw, just like you said, only kind of portends what's going to happen over the next 2 years.
But Chris, you know, we had these comments and that very heated exchange out of the Oval Office between the President, Pelosi, and Schumer. But really, that's nothing new, right? We've known that border wall is a sticking point for President Trump. We obviously know the Democrats feel very differently. Still, the market sold off, and then we started to come back. So was this sort of an overreaction and then a bit of a reversion? Is there something more to that sell-off that we saw today, a continuation of what we've seen the last several days? Chris?
Yeah, I think the market's really just trying to price in all this uncertainty, whether it's the political end of things, whether it's what the yield curve is telling us, what the Fed's going to do December, March. It's trying to factor in a whole convergence of different trends coming at once. And with a marketplace with about 2.5 weeks of trading left or so, as Kenny said before, a thinly traded market, it's tough to do that without volatility, and it's also tough to do that with any kind of trend.
Yeah, Rick Santelli, what do you make of the activity we saw today? I mean, stocks were already coming off their best levels when you had the brawl in the Oval. There's some trade headlines that whipsawed people a bit. How do you see it?
Well, first of all, I would like to think we could have more brawls like that. People like transparency. I particularly love transparency. Nothing was more transparent than that. This administration, you want to know what they're doing? All you have to do is look or listen or watch a tweet. I think that's a good thing, personally. As far as the markets, you know, there's bottoming action in the equity markets, in my opinion. In the way the machines now deal with issues, something comes across as a news story, it's going to be traded. And if it doesn't continue to come across as a big news story, it's going to be discounted. So we get lots of fits and starts. We all better get used to it. The machines certainly aren't going away. And the larger the portfolio, the more similar the portfolio lately. A lot of the modeling, they end up at the same bus stop, and that's a pretty big issue at some point.